Ed and Lorraine Warren are the most popular names in the world of paranormal investigations. Together they solved many haunting cases and even performed several exorcisms. But there was one case in their lives that shocked even them. Their last case, the Smurls Family Case. This story began in 1973 in Pennsylvania, USA. Jack and Janet Smurl moved into an old duplex house with their 2 daughters. Their previous house had been destroyed in a hurricane flood. Now, they had come to a new place with new dreams and hopes for a better life. At first, everything was fine. Within a few months, Jack got promoted at his job, and he thought now he could invest money to renovate the house. But as soon as the repairs and renovation work started, strange things began happening inside the house. Slowly, household items started moving on their own. Tools and equipment used for repairs would disappear and then reappear in the same place where they had gone missing. In one room, black stains appeared on the walls. Jack had 3 or 4 coats of paint applied over them, but within a few days the stains came back. Even when Jack himself painted over them, the stains always returned within a few days. Meanwhile, the lights in the house would start flickering on their own. One evening, while Jack was watching TV, the television suddenly caught fire, as if someone had thrown a bomb at it. Jack called many electricians to check the wiring, but no fault was ever found. One night, their radio suddenly started blasting at full volume. Jack woke up angrily, thinking his daughters were playing tricks. But when he went into the living room, he saw the radio playing on its own, even though it wasn't plugged in. This started happening often. The TV and radio would turn on at full volume even when unplugged. Drawers and cabinets would open by themselves. The temperature of the house would suddenly drop, and even in the summer, the rooms would become freezing cold. After the bathroom in Jack and Janet's bedroom was renovated, something very strange happened. The very next day, Janet found scratch marks all over the bathroom, as if an animal had been trapped there all night. After this incident, both Jack and Janet started feeling uneasy about the house. One time, Janet thought she heard her mother-in-law calling her from the next room. But when she went there, her mother-in-law said she hadn't called her at all. From then on, family members often felt as if someone was calling them, though no one was ever there. One night, Jack and Janet heard strange screams coming from their daughter's room. They rushed in and found her terrified, sweating and staring at a corner of the room. She kept repeating that someone was there, floating in the air, and it was terrifying. But Jack and Janet couldn't see anything. When they turned the lights on, the daughter also saw nothing and calmed down. The next evening, while Janet was working in the kitchen, she suddenly felt a cold gust of wind. It was February, so she thought she must have left the window open. But when she turned, the window was already closed. When she turned back, her body froze with fear. In the corner of the kitchen, a black shadow was floating in the air. It had no face, yet it felt as if it was staring right at her. Janet thought she might be hallucinating. Her body went numb with fear. The shadow slowly moved toward her, then passed by and vanished through the wall. That same day, Janet's mother-in-law also said she had seen the same black shadow. Slowly, everyone in the family began seeing it, until it became a normal thing in the house. Now Jack and Janet were convinced. It wasn't just suspicion anymore. There was definitely a spirit in their home, but since it hadn't harmed anyone yet, they decided to live with it. Sometime later, Janet and Jack had twin daughters, and from then on, everything changed. One day, Jack was sitting in the living room with his daughters when he heard strange noises from the ceiling, as if someone was ripping something apart. When Janet looked up, her breath stopped. She quickly pulled her little daughter aside, and just then, a huge chandelier crashed down from the ceiling. If anyone had been underneath, survival would have been nearly impossible. After this terrifying incident, Jack went to church and told a priest about everything happening in the house. The priest came and performed a blessing ritual, something like a prayer. For some time, all activity stopped, but soon it returned, and this time, the disturbances were much worse. Kitchen appliances would suddenly catch fire, bulbs would explode on their own, and family members often got injured by random objects. The worst happened right after another blessing ritual. The Smurls' dog suddenly began acting violently, barking madly, and then, in front of everyone, it was lifted into the air and thrown hard against a wall. The dog was badly injured. What happened that day shook the entire family. Jack and Janet now knew the spirit was after their family's lives. Many priests came and performed blessings, but nothing worked. Jack asked for an official exorcism, but since he had no solid proof, the church didn't approve it. He had already invested a lot of money into the house, and no one was willing to buy it. So despite wanting to, they couldn't leave. Years went by, but they never found a solution. Finally, someone told them about Ed and Lorraine Warren. Will Ed and Lorraine be able to save the Smurl family? Or will something even more terrifying happen? To find out, watch Part 2 of The Conjuring, the Smurls Family Case.